This is for the ones who wish to walk away. I have been completely fascinated, maybe even obsessed, with this current presidential election. The Trump versus Biden has been extremely entertaining to me. And I found this movement called the Walkaway Movement. And I guess it's something like the Brexit movement that Candace Owens started. So between the Brexits and the Walkaways, I've been watching these videos and they are so freaking inspirational. And I had my own walk-away moment years ago when I was in my 20s. I realized that I was a conservative. And so I didn't really identify as a Republican. And I definitely knew that I could not identify as a Democrat. So I considered myself a conservative. And no one could believe this. Like, how could she, of all people, be conservative? But I'm extremely conservative. I have children. And not that, liberal or Democratic people, with children don't have, conservative values. But I think they are far more tolerant of liberal values and far less tolerant of conservative values. So anyways, I've been watching these Lexia and Walkaway stories, and like I said, they're very inspirational. If you are on the line, if you cannot decide who to vote for or where you even stand, this is definitely a time for self-reflection, a time to consider self-preservation, and time to look at each party and what each party truly represents. I did my history, which is the reason why I was able to make a decision to be a conservative 20 years ago, when I realized who the Democrats were and their responsibility in forming the KKK and the reasons why they formed the KKK. It's alarming, and we've supported these people blindly, and I don't think their views have changed since their origins. And we have participated and been complacent in our own demise by supporting the Democratic Party. So, if you are unsure, do the research. Don't be afraid to research the Republican Party. Don't be afraid to research the Democratic Party, and as well as all the other parties that existed many years ago who are either in non-existence or very unpopular in this day and time. Examine those parties and see where your morals and views align. Otherwise, you are acting out of ignorance, and you should never act out of ignorance. Every decision should be an intelligent decision that you can stand on. So, I walked away 20 years ago and never regretted it. I've never needed the Democratic Party for any reason. I don't need the Republican Party for any reason. I believe myself to be sovereign, to be quite honest about the whole situation. But as far as my core beliefs and my core values, they align more with a conservative standpoint, and yours may too. But you'll never know unless you do the work. And don't be afraid to do the work, and don't be afraid to research. Don't be afraid to find out the truth. You should never be swayed from learning or investigating, asking questions to ultimately get to the truth. My light just went off on my computer. But anyways, so Brexit, walk away. I love you guys. Like, very inspirational, as I said from the jump. And keep spreading the word and encouraging people to at least do the research. Even, I'm not into changing people's minds. I don't care enough to change your mind. But I would encourage you to do some research.